Okay, guys. Obviously, it's a good Miami football team, and I'll start off by giving them credit. They made more plays than we did today. We gave them, a few short fields. I think at least three of their scores were short fields, sudden change situations for our defense, put them in a tough position. Gave up a couple explosives on a T shoot and an F shoot, two ones up the middle, which were new plays, and we got to do a better job defending them. And then offensively, we didn't run the ball like we needed to, had too many drops, and have opportunities to make plays. That first half especially, that we dropped the ball, whatever it may be, and we just didn't finish the game. So, it starts with me having them ready to go and our guys making plays. We just got to continue to go back and look at what we're doing, look at how we're doing it, and get the ball to our playmakers and make plays. Questions?
Pat, how do you feel Joey Yellen did in his first start with you guys?
You know what? We'll go back and watch the tape. I think he took a couple sacks. Obviously one was a fumble. He needs to throw the ball away or scramble and get the heck out of there, one or the other. And we'll look at the tape. But, overall, you really didn't know what to expect. First game action as a Pitt quarterback, first start. I thought he played solid. I thought he put balls in people's hands to make plays. And, we don't make plays at times. And we got to help them out. And, again, we got to help them out with the run game. I mean, the run game, they did a good job stuffing us up front. We didn't get pushed on their front four. And, you rush for 22 yards. You look at that. I mean, it comes down to being a passing game, and Joey's throwing it every down.
Pat, do you expect Joey to play for a while? And did Kenny have any kind of surgical procedure this week?
I'm not going to get into what what he's got or what he did. It's not what we do. But we expect Kenny to be back ASAP. Will he be back this weekend? I don't know. There's a chance, and I certainly hope after the open weekend for sure. But we got to lock in and get ready for Notre Dame, and whether it's Joey, I thought played well. Davis, we had planned on getting him a series in there early just to see what he's got, because I think he's very, very talented as well. I think we got two quarterbacks that can make plays, but it starts with the run game. We got to get some movement up front. We got to find a way to get some run game going. We get in the red zone, we can't kick 4 field goals. I love Kessman to death. And obviously, Kessman had, no hangover from last weekend. He went out there and did his job today, and our specialists were good in that respect.
At what point did you know that Kenny wouldn't play?
I knew early in the week, guys, obviously I didn't want Miami to know. I wanted them to have to prepare, for whatever. And, maybe they had a clue. We knew early in the week, Jerry.
How much was Yellen working with the first team throughout this week compared to Bevel, and what was the thought process in using a little bit of both guys?
We wanted to get, obviously, both of them work, and, wanted to give, we planned on giving, Davis a series in the first half and just see how it went. And obviously I think we had a holding call or something on that series, but I thought he did okay when he was in there. We'll look at the tape. But, they both, I would say Joey probably got 75% of the reps with the ones. That was the plan going in, but we planned on playing Davis.
Speaking of the running game, you had Todd Sibley start, and he ended up averaging 5-6 yards per carry, but only had 4 attempts. What went into him starting, and why didn't he maybe get more attempts throughout the game? I don't make calls on offense, and Sib did, end up having some nice rushes early. I'm not sure why, but we're trying to rotate those guys back there and see, who can go. And I was happy with the way Todd did, take those 4 carries, and, we'll look at the tape and see why, but maybe he should have got some more carries.
Pat, you referenced the drops, the penalties, the running game. I mean, these are recurring issues here. How do you address them to your team after a game like this, that the same things just keep showing up?
Well, you got to take care of the details, and starts with me. Whether I go back and hey, we got hands to the face and shoot. I don't know where it was or who did it. Didn't get a jersey number. We got a high-low by a running back, on a tackle, which was a good call. I mean, just little things. We shoot ourselves in the foot. It comes down to coaching. We got to do a better job coaching them and get the details out of them. And, whether it's a delay game, whatever it may be, we got to make plays.
Coach, how'd you feel you defended King as a multi-purpose threat?
Obviously not good enough. He did a good job with some of the RPOs and some of the
fake runs and got the tight ends up to shoot a couple times. We'll look at the tape and find that out. But obviously not good enough to win the game. So that's all that matters.
Pat, late in the third quarter there, you guys are down 12, 4th and 3 after, I think it was Tayseer had a 12-yard catch. You send out the field goal unit. You guys cut it to 9. What went into that decision and not to go for it?
Well, you want to go for it in one hand and you want to take points. And it was still early in the third quarter or mid-third quarter, I think. There's still plenty of time left, and I think you got to take the points.
One or two more for Coach?
Pat, you had Jordan Addis with like 147 receiving yards, most of any freshmen since Tyler Boyd 2013. What did you see out of him and maybe some of the other younger guys that stepped up in the game?
Jordan continues to play at a high level as a freshman. He's a good football player. We got to try to find a way to get it to him even more, I guess. He just makes plays. He almost had a play on a fade that I think he almost came down with. He does a good job. He pays attention to details and he catches the football.
When it comes to the defensive breakdowns and they get you with the same play twice, does that hurt more when you feel like you should have made the correction after it happened the first time?
Yeah, I don't think it was the same play twice. It was a form of the same play. It was two different formations and two different ways of getting it. So they obviously did a good job. And the second one was kind of an ISO. The tight end Mallory kind of came across and up through it, and he should never came up through the hole. He should have, if you're getting sucked up on the run, then we got to at least hit him. He can't come through the line of scrimmage free, and I have to look at the tape and find out how he got through free. But he should have been hit at the line of scrimmage. So we'll look at it, and see exactly what happened on that play.
Coach, thank you for your time. We got one more.
Yeah. You had 2 formation penalties on special teams defense. I think a extra point or field goal block and a punt return unit. How were you lined up wrong on those?
Well, I don't know if we were, but new rule, you can't line up over the center. The one punt I know for sure, which didn't matter on the play, but they said we were lined up over the center, but we were a yard back. You're allowed to be a yard off the line of scrimmage. So we'll look at the videotape and find out what.
All right, appreciate your time, Coach. Thank you. We're joined by quarterback Joey Yellen, and with that, we'll open it up for questions for Joey.
Joey, when did you find out this week that you were going to be starting?
Coach kind of hinted at it early on in the week. It wasn't ever like a full, for sure thing, early in the week, and I kind of knew more going later into it. So I just kind of approached the week like I'd be the starter, and if I wasn't going to be, then I was still prepared.
How do you feel you did out there? Obviously given this, your first career start at Pitt and everything.
Not good enough to win, and that's kind of the big thing. I got to watch the film more on how I did. Seeing reads and feeling pressure and that sort of thing. But I know right off the rip that it wasn't good enough to win.
Joey, it's one of the hardest things to do when you haven't played for a while is to know when to throw the ball away and when not to take a sack.
All the little things are, kind of tough, especially early on when you haven't played in a little bit. And I'm sure there was definitely a few where I could have got rid of it a little earlier and put us in a better spot.
Joey, obviously this is, initial here, and you're going to have to go back and look at the tape, things along those lines. But what do you take away from this game initially?
I think we can take away that we're a really good team. We fought with them. That's the 13th team in the nation over there. They're a really good team. And I thought our defense played outstanding. They put us in some really good spots. And, I think I got to be a little safer with the ball. I think I hit a couple balls that I missed, and it's a completely different game.
So you came out really well in the first drive, and then after that, it kind of seemed like it took a little while to get that rhythm back. What was that time like? And you were in and out of the game there. Did it feel like it kind of took you a while to get sort of flowing again after that?
not too much, because if you think about it, I came in right back the next drive, and we had 3 straight runs, and we were pretty pushed back, so there wasn't really a big chance to come out throwing. And then I was aware that we'd be splitting some reps throughout the game. I didn't know whether it was gonna be early on or later on or whatnot, but I think once I got back in, I got no excuses. We got to just hop right back on the saddle.
Joey, that opening drive, the opening play script there, was that something you had gone over with Whipple ahead of the game, saying like, okay, this is what I'm comfortable with, and you guys worked on that, or was he just calling the plays and you guys were running with it?
I think most teams do the first 10 or first 12 scripted. That's what we do here. So I had a good idea of what we were calling, what he liked early on, and I think we played with some pretty good pace on that first drive. And I think we could have had a really good drive. I can't take that sack that takes us out of field goal range. That was huge. I think the key to that one was a quicker pace, and I'm responsible for that later in the game. Trying to keep that quick pace.
Joey, how did you feel about how you were seeing the field, depending on timing, coming out and hitting your primary reads, and then deciding you bought a lot of time today with some of the throws that you were making down the field?
Yeah, there was a couple like that. I felt like I was seeing the field decently well. Like I said, there's some throws I had to make, or some throws I have to convert on. It's a completely different game if I do. And sorry, what was the second part of that question?
Oh no, just saying you were extending some plays, trying to find people downfield after the fact.
Yeah, I think the line, blocked their butts off, and I was able to kind of find a couple seams and stuff and be able to step up and extend it a little bit. And our receivers did a really good job, working towards me and helping me out. And I think that they kind of know that that's the case, being that, I don't have the athleticism of someone like Kenny or, even like De'Aaron King on the other side. So when I escape the pocket, I'm looking to throw the thing. So I think they did a really good job for me.
Any final questions for Joey?
Yeah, Joey, there were a number of just frankly bad drops by your wide receivers. As an inexperienced quarterback with mostly veteran guys you're throwing to, how do you approach that situation from a leadership or from a quarterback to receiver standpoint?
There was a couple, but I'm inexperienced, but I played football before, and that's a part of the game. And I approach it the same way they approached me when I missed a throw or I missed a touchdown to Tacey or something like that. It was next play, and you can't let those previous plays affect what you're going to do in the future. And I think we did a pretty good job of that.
Oh, good. Joey, thank you for your time. Appreciate it. We should be joined by we're aiming to get a defensive player shortly, so hang tight with us. Thank you. We're joined by linebacker Phil Campbell. And with that, we'll open it up for questions for Mr. Campbell.
Hello.
Phil, I guess, as an older, guy on the team here in the defense, there were just a lot of penalties out there. I think 10 total for the team. How do you guys go about that when that's kind of been an issue for you guys throughout the season now?
I think we just got to keep practicing on, discipline type of things like extra claps from the quarterback, different scenarios where they'll try and get us off sides. And, it really just comes down to just discipline, and that's completely mental. And face mask, you can't really do anything about that, just trying to play hard. But things that we can control, we have to do better this week.
Is it frustrating, though, that I guess, it was the face mask and then there was a holding as well on a few drives later that both of them were third down stops, and then they end up scoring touchdowns on that drive? You guys forced some turnovers, got some sacks, but it seemed like the defense, at least, in some circumstances, was shooting itself in the foot with the penalties.
Yeah, and that's kind of been the story of our season so far. I think that, we stop them and, we shoot ourselves in the foot with a penalty. And and it ends up in a score. It's happened several games, not just this game, and it just comes down to, like, just working on it this week. We have to be better with that.
Phil, you guys knew you were facing an athletic quarterback and De'Aaron King. You were able to keep him, from running too much. He had 32 yards on the ground. But how did you guys felt like you could have maybe done some things better on as far as keeping it contained with the pass?
I think we did a pretty good job containing him. He's definitely a good player. There were some things that, little things schematically we probably could have fixed up. They hit us with some plays we haven't seen from them this year. But I think that we really did a solid job, containing a guy of that caliber.
Phil,
Phil,
can
is,
you-
go ahead. Phil, is the 3-game losing streak and all the penalties and all the other things that happened during the game a little bit more frustrating because you guys have a lot of experience and a lot of seniors on the team this year?
Yeah, I mean, I think we had a lot of hopes for this season. We never would have expected to lose 3 games in a row. I'm still in shock about it. It's a tough one to swallow. All we can do is just get better and do our jobs. We can't control everything that's going on in the field. All we can do is focus on our jobs and each task, each play.
Phil, can you walk us through the 2 plays where they had a guy come out of the backfield and get free in the middle for a touchdown?
Yeah, the first play was a tee shoot. We were expecting that, but I guess we just had bad odds that play, and I think we were in certain calls. I don't know if we communicated everything the right way. In our defense, everybody has to be on the same page, so it really was a breakdown of communication on that play. And then the second play, we haven't seen that from them all year, and really we're we could have stopped it. We should have. That's no excuse, but I think that from now on, we got to prepare for everything. We got to prepare for the Pitt game plan, not just what they do. We got to prepare for how teams are going to attack us.
Anything final for Phil?
Phil, I know you guys obviously want to go back and look at the tape and things like that, but initially here, what's your big takeaway? What do you guys learn from going through a stretch like this?
I think we just got to, reflect on ourselves, and we got to really look at what our biggest problems is. And I believe it comes down to discipline and finishing our plays. And, there's not a lot we can do about schematics and everything, but I believe, we have the best coaches, the best players, and I truthfully believe that it's going to come together starting next week. And I believe we're going to get back on the road.
All right, Phil, appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
And that'll conclude our post-game press conference. We thank you all for joining us.